And we're back. It's almost like maybe we're not meant to do this or something. I don't know. But here I am on Facebook Live from the KRB Smooth R&B 105.7 studios in Dallas, Texas. Happy to have you on board with our typical Facebook Live. Look at Tony's Tea. If you missed it earlier today, I do entertainment report on my radio show, The Smooth Ride Home with Tony Scott, at 5:25 every weekday. And if you miss it, well, you know what? You kind of get a bonus if you're on at 6 o'clock when we do our tea here, because I will do the tea and you'll be able to comment on stories that I do on more than tea. I do more than a tea at this point, and we go back and forth with that. So there's that. So happy you could join me today. New Edition, this whole New Edition thing just has me I don't know. Because for so many years, New Edition was all about brotherhood and how they had nothing but love for each other. They were like family. They were family. They weren't like family. They were family. They are family. You know, even when Bobby, went off the rails a little bit, more than a little bit, came back in, he was always an original member of New Edition. Johnny Gill was welcomed with pretty much with open arms to start. He eventually won everybody over, became a part of the family, and everything's good. Well, now here we are in 2018, fresh off the 2017 miniseries on BET, the New Edition story that everybody loved. People were wanting a New Edition tour with all six. Everybody thought it was a go, but apparently behind the scenes, there was some drama going on to the point where now there's not going to be a New Edition tour. There's going to be a tour, but not New Edition. Apparently, Johnny Gill and Ralph Tresvant own the trademark to New Edition, so reports say, and they won't include the other four on the trademark, so the other four have decided to become RBRM, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, kind of like BBD plus Bobby, and they plan on doing a tour without Johnny and Ralph. Of course, Johnny's going to be here in the DFW for a concert with Brian McKnight and Eric Benet, but I don't know what's going on with that, but it just kind of makes me sad because I thought that was a pretty special bond these guys had, but they're human. And I guess you kind of got to look at it that way, too. Chris Brown is being sued by a woman. Now, it's very, very important that we remain clear on this. The woman is claiming that she was raped at a party, but not by Chris Brown. She says she's alleging she was raped at Chris Brown's house at a party there by someone there, a friend of Chris Brown's, and that she was forced to perform oral sex on a woman who was on her period. This is what she's saying, and it's kind of gross. Of course, there's nothing sexual about rape. That's a violent act in of itself. But it's important to know, though, that Chris Brown is not being accused of rape. A lot of people will take that and run with it. I had a debate with somebody on the phone who was telling me that, tell me about the Chris Brown rape. I said, there was no rape. You said Chris Brown raped. I said, no, I said Chris Brown is being sued because a woman claims she was raped at his house by someone else. And they were like, well, what's the difference? I'm like, bye. Ain't nobody got time for that, man. Come on. And this R. Kelly thing was Spotify. Okay, Spotify decided, you know what? We're removing R. Kelly from our playlist. Now, what does that mean? I'm not that familiar with Spotify. I did a little bit of reading about it. Well, of course, Spotify says, you know what? His music is not going to be on our playlist, but it will still be available on the service. But Spotify will not actively promote it. Well, if it's still on the service, then what's the point of you making the announcement? Because on Spotify, you can do a search for R. Kelly. You're going to find his music. You're just not going to find it on any playlist, like a Quiet Storm playlist or a Grown and Sexy playlist, I guess, things like that. But it's the music's still there. So what's the point? Now, R. Kelly's camp is saying that ain't even right to remove him even from the playlist because you're doing this based on rumor, suspicion, but no facts. You got no facts. All allegations. Nothing's been proven. Depending on what you believe, they may have a point, they may not have a point. So there's that. On a much lighter note, Tiffany Haddish apparently has said that she's not going to shave her until she has sex with Michael B. Jordan. well, that's good to know, Tiffany. Thank you so much. Well, I just no, no. Okay, just none of that. None of that. Let's see what else is going on. Mariah Carey did a video, 9 things Mariah Carey has never done. Like she has never tried to get the stain out of some laundry. She's never done that. and a couple of other things too that she's never done, which is kind of interesting. You can watch the video on our website at krnb.com. Alan Thicke, I still can't believe Alan Thicke passed away. Robin Thicke's dad, of course, was I forgot the name of the show, but he did a sitcom. He's a musician. He had a talk show. Talented son, and he died last year. And his wife Tanya wants her inheritance. Robin and his brother Brennan apparently are the co-executors of the estate, and I guess they're taking their time with paying her money, and she's saying, "I need my ends, man. I want my ends, man." I don't know if I have the guts. That's not the right word. Nerve. If I have the nerve to demand my inheritance from someone, you know, from their estate who died, who I'm assuming left me something, that's just bad karma to me. I don't know. I don't know if you saw the Childish Gambino "This Is America" video, but it had everybody talking, everybody trying to interpret it. There are tons of videos on YouTube about people's interpretation of the video. I'm guessing Donald Glover's response to all this is whatever your interpretation is what it is, depending on where you are in life, what your economic status, what your race is, what's your point of view. Well, what is that? And I guess from that is the basis of everybody's interpretation. Some people are offended by it. Some people say, nah, he's keeping it real. It just depends on where you are in life. But the watching of his video on YouTube has, as of yesterday, has over 50 million views. That shatters the record. I mean, that's it's ridiculous the amount of views that it's getting, but that's a good thing because I think the video is important. I do. I think it's important. People need to see from another point of view. People can say it's art. It's nothing more than art. Well, okay, if that's your point of view, yeah. But other people will see much more of that. They see that as a reflection of reality for people of color, and in particular for African Americans. So there's that. So there. The 3 U.S. citizens are back after being released by North Korea. One of them said he had not seen daylight in a very long time. They apparently were abused. Some people, if you want to give the president credit for getting these 3 guys back from North Korea, then by all means do. If you feel like he didn't have anything to do with it, but then by all means feel that way too. It's all on you. The president did announce today that he's going to meet with Kim Jong-un in Singapore on June 12th. Now, I'll tell you this. I don't trust Kim Jong-un at all. I wouldn't meet with him. The only place I would have met with him is in this country. I'm not meeting with you anywhere. That's just me. That's just me. I'm not speaking for anybody else. Just saying. I just couldn't do it. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him. I'm just saying. That's how I feel about it. But what about you? Anything you guys want to comment on? You're more than welcome to. Maybe something that I didn't bring up. A lot of people talking about the incident that happened at Yale University where a white lady called police on a fellow black student who apparently fell asleep in a common area of the dormitory while she was working on a paper, and she called police on this woman who was asleep. And of course, Yale security, they told the woman who fell asleep, show us, that you live here and we're on our way. Well, it took a few more steps than that, but they did leave. But reportedly, the school has admonished the white lady for calling police over such nonsense. She's done it before, and apparently will do it again. But that's profiling. That's what it is. Simple, pure and simple. It's profiling. You can think it ain't, but it is. So there's that. So, Yvonne, I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Luana, everything's good. Charlene, everything is fine. Belinda, how you doing? Hey, Donna. Last couple of days, I was sick on. I was here, but I was not feeling well. And yesterday, you have to understand my setup here. And I think Donna, I think Miles, your son Miles, could probably. I don't know if I had it set up when he came here the other day, but anyway, I have my laptop here. And I have a camera behind that, and my laptop is plugged into a wall. Well, yesterday, I had it plugged in, and not only do I do this, but I do videos. I do other videos daily, and I do web updates on our website, krnb.com, from my laptop. Well, I had it plugged in, and I was over here getting ready to go on the air, and I smelled something. I was like, what is that, right? So I backed up, and I turned around and looked. and there was smoke coming from my cable that I had plugged into the wall, and I could see orange, and I could see because it's kind of dark down here, and it was starting to flicker, like there was starting to be flames. So I pinched it with my fingers, and it didn't burn me. I did it just real quick, and with that was it. And I pulled it out of the wall, so I didn't have an electric outlet to plug my laptop in, because by then I only had 9% battery because I've been working all day on this, and this happened probably around, I don't know, 2:30, maybe 3, and so. So I was without a laptop, and went on the internet to price one. And you have to be careful when you buy things like that, because some of the stuff like on Amazon is not. I'll put it like this. Okay, to go to the Apple store to get a plug for this laptop is going to cost me about $80, right? So if I go on Amazon and I see one for like $20, $29, to me that's a red flag. That if it's that cheap, it can't be that good. Right? If it was like $50, $60, okay, well, it's cheaper than the $80 one, so, but that might do the trick. So it was $80, and I was, I'm on a budget, I ain't gonna lie. But then my coworker of mine, I don't know if I should say her name, Delisha, she goes, I have a cable that I'm not using on an old laptop. I'll bring it in. And she did. She gave it to me. She saved my life. Oh, I work with incredible people, so there's that. So, Deborah, how you doing? So that's where I was, Donna, to answer your question the last couple of days. So it's kind of like one of them things. And let's see, Donna, you're speaking about sick of these females. Convict the man that violated you. Well, I think that's, a matter of if they can identify who it is. Talking about the Chris Brown thing. Chris Brown, but she never accused Chris Brown of anything. She's suing him, I guess, because he didn't have adequate security. It happened at his house. I guess she was advised by her lawyer, Gloria Allred, that she can sue. She can get something out of that. So there's that. But now, something is a very relative term. Justice, financial relief. I don't know. But the woman never did accuse Chris Brown of anything. So let's be clear on that. So, R. Kelly, let's see. Luana says, seems R. Kelly's music is being removed from issues. I don't know exactly what that means, but okay. R. Kelly really messed up. R. Kelly may have messed up many years ago. But I've always asked this question: why has he not been convicted? He was brought to trial one time. People say, people like accuse, well, he married Aaliyah when she was 15. Yeah, but that's not illegal if her parents signed off on it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing illegal about it. He didn't illegally marry her. He married her with parental consent. I'm guessing, isn't that usually how it works? When you're underage, you have to have parental consent. And in some states these days, you can't even have parental consent. If you're a certain age, you can't get married until you're at least, and the law should be 18. You should not be able to legally marry anybody with or without consent until you're 18 years old. Why that's not the law, I wish somebody would explain. I'm sure it makes sense to somebody, but it don't make sense to me. So, Nicole, enough of that Mr. Tony stuff. It's just me. It's just me. Joanne says, RBRM, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, it's not the same. Makes us sad. I have them pay their share of the cost of ownership, especially since they were part of making the brand and just play nice. They are breaking our hearts. Come on, you edition. Yeah, Joanne, it's I think a lot of people feel that way. But you got to separate business from personal, I guess. If you're Ralph and Johnny, I guess that's what you gotta look. I guess that's the angle you're playing. I still love you guys. This is business. You guys had an opportunity to get this trademark, and you didn't get a trademark. Me and Ralph did. This is ours now. So it's business. We still got love for you. But who's gonna buy that? Nobody's gonna buy that. Come on. Nobody's buying that. Yeah, Donna, the Childish Gambino video is very thought provoking. It's a very deep video. And I read so much about it when it first dropped, and I was like, do I want to watch this? Because it sounds like this is going to depress me, right? Talked about depression and all that last week, and I was like, but I felt like I needed to watch it, so I did, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Joanne says she found good points in the artistry and many conversation points for younger ones who aren't quite into current events, and she loved it. Well, there you go. Very good. Very good. Barbara, how you doing? Yeah, it's really sad how America has become. Well, yeah, true. Belinda doesn't trust Kim Jong-un either. Thank you, Diane, New York. Apparently, they love me in New York. Well, there you go. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for saying that. You watch too many of my tech programs when you're using real Apple products. Yeah, Joanne. Yeah, I'm an Apple guy. I have nothing against Samsung phones or PCs or anything like that. They're fine. They're fine machines. I just when my two younger girls were very young. And we had PCs, laptops, and desktops, and all that stuff like that. But my youngest, they would always, when something popped up, they would click yes. So they were always putting malware and adware, and they were clicking yes to everything that popped up. Remember, everything would pop up, man. All kinds of pop-ups back in the day. And one time, I found like 730 something pieces of malware on my computer. And Guy Torrey, the comedian, was on my radio show every day. Did the show with us, part of the crew, and he told me, "You gotta get an Apple, man, because that don't happen on an Apple." He says because nothing will install on your computer unless this was. I understand things have changed, but back then he says you have to for something to install, you have to put your password in. So I thought, okay. So I got an Apple, and then I bought a MacBook, and then I bought another MacBook, and then I bought an iMac, and then I bought some iPads. So before I knew it, I had all Apple stuff, and that's how I ended up in the Apple ecosystem, as they say. Let's see, Yvonne. Tony, I have a question to ask you. Something funny is going on because every time when you come on, I can see you and Lynn now. When Sean comes on in the evening, there's no way that I can see him, but I can hear his voice. So I wanted to know, can you tell me on the inside of what's going on? You're talking about on a Facebook Live? I don't know. I don't know why, because I watched him last night because we were trying something different on his Facebook Live last night and watched him, and it was perfectly fine. I don't know. I don't know. So you're just getting a black screen and you can hear his audio, but you're just getting the black screen. Is that what you're saying? I'm curious about that because I've never seen that happen before. That I know of anyway. I've never seen that. I just started saying what, Joanne? Tell me what I just started. Tell me what I just started saying. So Charlotte says, "What about the lady in Oakland that called on two black men for barbecuing in the park?" Yeah. Here's what's neat, Charlotte. Here's what's going to have to happen. Okay, if they're going to have to pay a fine, you're going to have to hit them in the pocket. If you're making these bogus claims, right, profiling people, so there's going to have to be a penalty to pay. There's going to have to be a penalty to pay. That's going to cut out these calls, right? If it checks out, we thank you for your service as a citizen. But if it's some BS, no, we're going to need $250 from you because you're wasting resources over something. Calling the police on two people who were barbecuing in the park is out of line. Calling the police on someone who fell asleep in the common area of her dormitory is out of line. Calling the police on someone at that same Yale University and that same woman when a man asked her for directions and she says, "You're bothering me. You're scaring me. I'm afraid of you. You need to leave." And she called the police. That lady's got a problem, I think. I'm just thinking she does. Donna, I'm glad. I just thank you so much. I am feeling better, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm more glad I didn't burn up the studio than how I feel. I'm just saying. But I appreciate that. Let's see. Michelle says, "I don't trust Gloria Allred." That's the woman's attorney, the woman who was suing Chris Brown because she said she got raped in his house, not by Chris Brown. Gloria is one of those high-profile attorneys. And some people say she's the kind of attorney to give attorneys a bad name. I don't know that much about her. I just know she's on TV a lot. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. They're removing his music due to the current issues that he's having. Well, you know what? Yeah, but since when did people get their music removed for current issues they were having? When did that ever happen? When did that start happening? I mean, I'm wondering. I mean, I'm seems like they're jumping the gun. Kind of like they did with Bill Cosby. Before Bill Cosby was convicted, you know, they were taking back his doctorates and all that kind of stuff like that. And, you know, and it was like, well, wait a minute, he got convicted yet. Now he's convicted. He's been kicked out of the Motion Picture Academy. I think Temple University revoked an honorary doctorate he got, and another school, I think, did the same thing. And, you know, so now, you know, everybody's pulling out of the Bill Cosby business. Thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate that. I don't know. I can't imagine that a record company, Luana, would like quit selling his music because it's just too much money to be made. You know, money rules it all in that business for sure. So I don't think they would pull his music, his catalog of music, from store shelves or anything like that, because I think that there's just too much money to be made. Because there's a lot of people who separate R. Kelly, the man, from R. Kelly, the musician. And they love his music. They just don't love him. They hate him, but they love his music. And there are some people who say they hate everything about him, but on the low key, they're buying his music. And record companies like, don't matter how you feel about him, as long as you're buying the music, they got no dams about what you think about him. So there you go. Logan's in Chicago. What's up, man? I don't know the DJ Khaled situation about the oral sex thing. You know what? He's lying. He's a damn liar. He's lying. He's lying like a rug. Get out of here. He's in there. He's in there, man. He's in there. He's a liar. Let's just call it what it is. Yeah. I mean, you know what? If for real though, if that's his thing, then, you know, because some people say, well, you know, his culture, you know, they don't do that in his. He threw his culture under the bus the minute he became a hip hop head, because hip hop culture is. Come on, man. He sold out a long time ago, so I'm not buying that argument at all. Sean live freezes up a lot, Cindy says. Okay, all right. Now I think I may know what that is. But I'll have to talk with Sean before that, because we all use different connections. See, they use their phones, I use a computer, and so, but still, it really shouldn't matter because we're both on Wi-Fi. Even his phone's on Wi-Fi. My laptop's on Wi-Fi, so I'm not even hardwired into the internet in the building. So I don't see whether it'd be that much of a difference. But maybe I have more powerful cycles in my laptop, I guess. And Yvonne says, yeah, I'm getting a black screen when Sean's talking too. A black screen, that's it. That's crazy. I got to ask him about that. Has anybody else ever said that? I just start talking about using real Apple products right when I hit send. Oh, well, I mean, you know what? No, there are some products for Apple products, like cables and stuff. You can find good ones, and then you can find bad ones. And I would never buy a charging cable like from a gas station for your phone. Oh yeah, man, it's $1.99, man. Come on, man, it's $1.99, man. You get the Apple one, it's like $30. True, but there are other ones that you can get that are cheaper. You can get some for, you know, $10, $12, which is not $1.99, but those ones that are $1.99 may not be Apple certified. So, don't know how safe they are, how they can destroy your battery. My daughter had a couple of iPhones ago had an issue with, she bought a cheap cable and it just messed her battery up. So you got to be careful about stuff like that. And, you know, and I said, to me, the rule of thumb is never buy a phone charging cable out of a gas station. Nothing against gas stations. But I'm just saying, you know, it's just, for some reason, those never seem to work out very good. That lady in Oakland stayed in the park for 2 hours waiting on the police. 2 hours. Who does? Well, you know what? She was by that point she was vested. She was in it, man. She was in it to win it. She was going to win. She was going to see justice. In her eye, her justice. She was going to wait it out, man. I don't know, Donna. I don't know why she did that. She had nothing to do. She's a hater for real. Probably all of the above, right? I don't know. That's crazy. Tanya, how you doing? Good to have you. Deborah, she does. The woman, you talking about the woman at Yale University, apparently has an issue with people of color. And, you know, she's one of many. And I maintain that these folks that are coming out the woodwork and, you know, profiling people of color, mostly African Americans, it seems, but other people too, Latinos and Arabs and you know, Middle Eastern Indians, things like that, they're getting profiled too. You just, you know, don't hear a lot about it, but yeah, it happens. And the person who lives in the White House has empowered these folks because they think that there are no repercussions, because he says what he wants to say by calling Mexicans thugs and talking about bleep whole countries and all that, and there's no price for him to pay. There's no price for him to pay. There's no price for them to pay. You know, and it's starting to turn in the direction it should be in, as far as there is going to be a price for them to pay, but that justice wheel is very slow to turn. Justice is very slow. You know, I mean, it really is. So, Gloria Allred is a scandal chaser. I don't know if she chases or because she's been a high profile attorney for so long that people just reached out for her. You know, I think it might even be a little bit of both. That because she's such a high profile person, you're gonna call, you know, that person top of mind, right? Remember when Johnny Cochran was alive and everybody was call Johnny. Everybody was like, call Johnny. Because he wasn't chasing anybody down, but he was a high profile attorney. And people, you know, when you're on TV every day for a while, or you're on TV fairly often, people remember your name. And if you're in LA and you feel like you've been wronged, especially if you're a woman, you call Gloria Allred, you know? So there's that. And is she a scandal chaser? I'm not going to disagree with you. Charlotte, I plan to take care of myself. He's been, R. Kelly, Deborah says, has been accused, not convicted. But we're at a point now where especially the court of public opinion, you get accused, that's just as good. You know, you're innocent till proven guilty. Well, it's starting to turn to you're guilty till you're proven innocent, which has been that way for people of color for forever. We know that. They're not good, Charlotte. They're not going to leave R. Kelly alone. They smell blood. There's blood in the water, man. They're not going to leave him alone. They're coming for him, and they're coming for him now, and they're coming for him hard, and they're going to keep coming for him because now there's the Mute R. Kelly movement, which is part of the Me Too movement, which is part of the Time's Up movement. So all this stuff is going on, and if you push back, then you're considered the enemy, and that's not good. Because that's the world we live in right now is so judgmental and quick to point and accuse, but not quick to provide facts. Happens a lot. Donna, I've been told I have a very good laugh. I know I told you the story about my laughing though, so I won't repeat that. But they dissed Michael Jackson until he died, and now they love him. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Michael Jackson was hated. Remember that? He was a child molester. And then it came out that he didn't molest anybody. People shook him down for money. Remember that? Some people still refuse to believe in it. But some people, they like to believe the worst of everybody, whether it's fact or not. They just like to believe that. You know? People just like, you hear something about someone, and once you get labeled, it's pretty much over. Right? Neo is happily married now and wrote a song about being a good man, you know, and spoke about it, and he got dragged because you weren't a good man when you cheated on your wife. Well, you know what? You're labeled. You're labeled. You know, Chris Brown will always have the stink of being somebody who beat a woman on him. He may not lay his hands on anybody for the rest of his life, but he'll always have the stink of that. Ike Turner, a genius of a musician, A genius of a musician. But after that Tina Turner movie, what's love got to do with it? That stink road stayed on him until the day he died, right? O.J. Simpson will always be what? A woman beater and a murderer. It is what it is, you know? We like to do that, you know? They're still upset about O.J. So they had to get Bill Cosby. Well, nah, those are two different things. Two different juries, two different jurisdictions. I thought that once you were tried, you couldn't be retried. There is sometimes, most of the time, there's double jeopardy attached. So yeah, I mean, O.J. Simpson was found not guilty of criminal murder, but he was sued civilly. So they weren't charging him. The lawsuit that the families, the Goldman and the Browns, won, had nothing to do with trying to put him in jail. They were trying for civil damages, money. They were going after his money. So that's a separate thing. You see, that's how our justice system is. It's not that, it's this. And it's not this, it's that. Now he could go on TV today and say, you know what? Yeah, hell yeah, I killed Nicole. She was a hoe. You know, I'm not saying Nicole was a hoe. I don't even know the woman. I'm saying he could go on TV and say she was the biggest whore and I hated her. And yeah, I killed her and I killed Ron Goldman too. He could say that and they couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't try him again at all on that. They couldn't do that because there's double jeopardy attached to the criminal part of the trial. He was sued civilly. That's a whole different matter. It's just one of those things. You know, so Yvonne says that Bill Cosby thing still leaves a bad taste. But I don't care about this man. It's not going to be out 90 years old. Come on, it's still a bad taste. Well, Bill Cosby, will Bill Cosby ever spend a day in jail? I don't know. There's a very high probability that he won't because of his age and because of his health issues and because he can afford a very good lawyer. There are lots of different reasons why he may never spend a day in jail. You know, still got to go through the appeal process. There's all that to go. So all this could get dragged out for, another 10, 15 years. What, he's going to live to be 95 years old? What are the odds of that? I mean, I'm not saying I wish death on him. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, he's not in the best of health. And the longer they can drag it out, the longer he can stay out of jail. Yvonne, have a blessed night yourself. Thank you so much. Whose wife is not an American? Who are we talking about now? Cindy? Who are we talking about? They need to give the woman in Oakland the "Oh No You Didn't" Academy Award because she put on the show once the police arrived. I'm sure she did put on the show. Yeah. Regina, did I get a haircut? I did. I got a haircut last week. I did. I did get a haircut last week. It was last week. I got a haircut last week. So yeah, I did. I have to keep an eye because if I don't cut my hair, there comes that one point where I need a haircut and you put it off, and then all of a sudden, bam, it just like grows like at warp speed, like over 2 days, and then I start scaring small children, and I don't want to do that. So, yeah, Michelle, Gloria Allred, she might be a bit of both. She might be, Sapphire says, it sucks we can't read a book, we can't barbecue, we can't ask for help with directions, ask for auto assistance without being accused or shot at. That is so true. This is why there needs to start being a price to pay when these allegations turn out to be false. That's when you have to come after people so they quit doing that. And people, when sooner or later the word gets around, you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to do that? Because if they prove that you were making this up or lying or you're wrong, you get fined. You sure you want to do this? That's, because nobody wants to be hit in the pocket, ever. So, I don't know. Deborah, I'm assuming you're talking about R. Kelly. They feel his name is still too powerful and present and so too strong, so now they're hitting him where it hurts in his pockets by dropping his music off the list at Spotify, things like that. Yeah. I mean, I would be shocked if R. Kelly doesn't have a lot of money. Well, let me back up. I would say I would have felt that way, but I get the feel. Wendy Williams she was off when she was sick. She had a face-to-face meeting with R. Kelly. And she says that she asked R. Kelly everything and he answered every question, you know. But on another issue, she says that R. Kelly doesn't know how to read and he doesn't know how to write and he doesn't know how to add. So I'm wondering how much money he has. I mean, how many times has he been ripped off from people? Oh, Charlotte said, no, I'm talking about Bill, you dummy. Okay, all right. So you guys have to tell me who you're talking about because I'm going from topic to topic. So just say, you know, regarding Bill, and then say what you want to say regarding R. Kelly and stuff like that, because it helps me get back to your comment specifically on what you're talking about. So, is it Malika? Malika, honey, how you doing? You hope Bill Cosby stays out of jail, Yvonne? You know, okay, you know. My president, he's our president. You can say what he ain't my president. Yes, he is. You live in this country, he's your president. You can't disown he's your president. I don't see him as he is your president. He's your president. You're an American, you live in America, that's the president. You don't have to like him. He's just, you can say, I don't like my president. You can say that, but when you say he ain't my president, you sound like a fool. I'm just being honest. I don't like him either. But he is the president, and he is my president, so, you know. Am I reading the messages too slow? Cindy says, get on it, man. Hop on it, man. R. Kelly goes back decades ago when he was with Public Announcement. I believe the song was Vibe. Yep, he was in that group. He sang little cute Aaliyah's Got It, then married her when she was 16. He's a sick man, but makes great sex songs. I got no comment about that. I'm not ready I'm not ready to make Aaliyah a victim of R. Kelly because, like I said, she married him and she had to have parental approval to do that. Unless I'm missing something. You got to put the blame somewhere. You can't put it squarely on him for the Aaliyah thing because her parents had to sign off on her getting married that young. No? Am I wrong? Just saying. Well, you know what, Regina? You can not believe stuff about R. Kelly because nothing has ever been proven. You know, if on this videotape people talk about where he peed on a teenager or something like that, remember that? If that were true, why wasn't he prosecuted for it? The evidence was in the tape. Why couldn't he be prosecuted? So to me, as an outsider, like all of us are, that tells me that the girl must have been of age. And somebody said she wasn't, but she must have been legally of age. I mean, because you got videotape evidence of him peeing on a girl. Now, if she's an adult, she's considered a consenting adult. That's the end of that, right? But if she's a minor, she's not allowed to make that decision as a minor. Then there's a problem. But he never was put on trial for that. Why wasn't he? There has to be a reason why. Some people say it was because she was black. Okay, maybe, I don't know. Barbara, thank you for the love. If they were to drop every artist who had horrible sexual histories and drug abuse, half the rock and roll community would disappear. Half the R&B community would disappear too. And half the country artists would disappear too. There'd be a lot of talk radio. And that's true. So, yeah, she needed parental consent, Deborah. Aaliyah did. So you can't really put that on him. Michelle says they sold Aaliyah by allowing him to marry her. Well, maybe so. Riri, thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate that. I try to come with something. So, you know, it wasn't the marriage was annulled, but somebody had to sign off on it, right? I'm guessing. You know, it's been so long ago. Maybe I'm missing something. But anyway, I gotta go because I'm running late. But I do before I go, I gotta say this. My youngest daughter Maria, who's graduating in a couple of weeks, has a big night tonight at her high school where they're giving out. She's already received 4 cords and a sash, not a sash, but the other thing from the National Honor Society, and 4 cords. And I think she may be getting 1 or 2 more cords tonight. And I'm so proud of her. I am so proud of her. This is her moment, and I'm so happy for my Maria, who, like all my kids, is everything to me. But that little girl right there has worked her butt off to hit it out of the park, and she seems to do it on a more than consistent basis. And I'm so thank you, Cindy. I appreciate that, Regina. She is everything. So, yeah, just wanted to say that. So her and mom are in St. Louis tonight, and they're they should be there now. So, uh, yeah, thank you, Riri. Appreciate it. Look, I got to go because I'm about 10 minutes late and I got to get to this. Gwendolyn, thank you so much. You guys have a great night. Share this if you can on your Facebook feed. It helps grow the channel. I was up 23 subscribers in the last few days on YouTube, youtube.com/this and that media. Subscribe, doesn't cost anything. Hit the bell to get notified when a new video goes up. I got to get a tech video together to put up too. And, of course, follow me, Tony Scott Media, on all the other media platforms. You guys are everything. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Joanne. Donna, thank you so much. Michelle, thank you. Caroline, thank you so much. Yeah, but I can't wait to see her in a couple of weeks. Actually, I'll see her on FaceTime tonight because I always got when she gets home. We follow each other on Find My Friends, so I'll know when she gets home. And then I can FaceTime her and say, tell me about the whole night. Tell me about the whole night from the moment you walked in. Who'd you see? And stuff like that. And tell me about it because I just want to know. And I take huge interest in all that kind of stuff. So there's that. But anyway, enough about my life. God bless you all. Thank you. I love you so much for your support. And I'm going to get with Sean and talk to him about that whole thing. And I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye.